Alright, so this is my second Q&A of the week. We're gonna do this right now. Just got back from work, so let's kick it off. First questions come from Ariba Seal. As a Shawn Michaels fan, how did you handle his loss to Taker 2 Manias back to back? Did you watch them live and in person? Did you hate Taker then? Do you still now? And if it was up to you, how would you book them? The first loss, I actually wasn't watching wrestling at the time, so I didn't watch it, live at the moment. I went back and watched it. But the second, his retirement match, I did watch. I was watching wrestling at the time. I was never there live. Those Manias weren't around my neck of the woods. But yeah, the first, I can't really talk about the first because I watched that. I rewatched it afterwards. But the second one, it was like, because it was the retirement match. And, Shawn Michaels is the reason I became a wrestling fan. That was my childhood. It's like somebody that you idolized as a child passing away. That's what it was. His career was over. That was it for Shawn Michaels. And, a piece of myself as a wrestling fan died with Shawn Michaels leaving. Because that was, the guy I, fell in love with. Those were the matches I fell in love with, those old school Shawn Michaels matches. I mean, did I hate Taker? No. I mean, I'm not a mark. I understand it's all scripted and, I know it's not real, the results, the decisions, so I didn't hate Taker, I mean, the guy was doing his job. Shawn Michaels wanted Taker to retire him, so it's, it's not like it's a real thing. How would I book them? I wouldn't fuck with it because those two matches were booked perfectly, so I would not fuck with it. It was the right time for Shawn Michaels to retire. Better for him to go out on top rather than go out 80 years old trying to get, cheers out of a 30-person crowd at some, bumblefuck place somewhere in the South, that some stupid federation, so I wouldn't fuck with the way it was booked. So yeah, two great matches. And other from Ariba Seal, he wants me to list some of my favorite impersonations or imitations that have been done in wrestling. What comes to mind is DX is the Nation. I'm sure that comes to everybody's mind. DX is the Nation was hilarious. Also, Shawn Michaels mocking Hulk Hogan on Larry King Live. That was an amazing fucking segment. Heel Shawn after the Born Again Christian shit. That was like his only little heel run. And it was great to see old classic Shawn doing that stuff. Gilbert was fucking hilarious. Always losing matches. Who's first? the catchphrase. Mini Bret Hart was pretty hilarious. The night after the screw job, when Shawn Michaels brought out Mini Bret Hart and slapped WCW on his ass. The imitations when The Rock was stealing everybody's catchphrase from WCW. He was saying, "What you gonna do?" and then "Ooh yeah," and all the "Woo!" He did a whole bunch of stealing everybody's catchphrase. He's like, "Oh wait, that's not it." That he was trying to come up with his own. That was funny. I mean, some people might say DX mocking the McMahons, but I don't know. That was like, there was some corniness to me in that. I mean, that's when DX was a little corny. Like the jokes weren't there. It just felt a little corny. So I wouldn't say that's one of my favorites. But yeah, those are some that come to mind. Some of the top ones that come to mind. Next question is from Meyer Taker. What's your favorite match this year? My three favorite matches that come to mind are Taker versus Punk. The Raw 6-man tag match, it was The Shield versus Team Hell No and somebody else. I forgot who the other person was. It wasn't when they were teaming with The Undertaker, but they were teaming with somebody else, and it was like a 30-minute Raw match. It was just amazing. And Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton, that hardcore match on Raw was pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, I'll go with Taker versus Punk. It was on the grandest stage of them all. Wasn't the best match ever or anything like that, but it's Taker versus Punk. It was a great match. I actually have some more questions from Reed Basile that I didn't see before I go to the next person. First question: what's the reason behind Stone Cold Steve Austin's retiring? You know, I believe it's his body was just banged up, his neck and his knees and all that shit. You know, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why he retired initially. I know he's said recently his body's much better now, but I'm pretty sure the initial retirement was because his body was banged up, because he just returned like a month before he retired, so I think his doctor was telling him he couldn't wrestle. The next, should he come back for at least just one match against Punk? I would love that. That'd be amazing. You know, if it was booked right, you know. I want to see Stone Cold, not a PG Stone Cold, not like The Rock being a PG Rock. If it was going to be PG Stone Cold, then fuck no. But if he could be Stone Cold and have a great feud, have a great match, I would love to see that. You know, it'd be fucking amazing. And the last question, why the fuck doesn't Vince McMahon just get his fat ass ego out of this, pay the guy handsomely, and just let him have this fucking blockbuster match that almost everybody wants to see? It's great for business, and because people want to see it, it will increase buy rate. I don't know why, you know? I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe Vince doesn't see a spot for Stone Cold, being that it's a PG product. Maybe he's waiting until WrestleMania 30. You know, I don't know. I can't even start getting into the mind of Vince McMahon. But I'm sure Austin wants a lot of money. But, you know, I'm sure Brock Lesnar also wants a lot of money. The Rock does, and they get paid. You know, we'll see what happens. That's all I can say. The next question is from SpinnerNet1. If you were an actor, what kind of TV character would you play? Of course, I'd play a badass guy that gets all the chicks and, you know, fucks all the broads I see. No, but let's see. I mean, if it was like an autobiographical type of thing, if it was like I was playing myself on TV, it'd be like a Larry David type character. You know, some just body that is like what do you call it? You know, just somebody that hates everybody and has a problem with a lot of things. I have that Larry David New York type of mentality. But if it was a fictional thing, I would like to play, you know, kind of like a guy who's rough around the edges, kind of like, you know, I have my moral problems. You know, I'm not really an all-out bad guy. There's things wrong with me, but, you know, I also have some redeeming qualities, you know? Like a guy that wears a leather jacket, you know, that maybe slicks his hair back, you know, that talks with a New York accent, but he's got a heart inside, you know? You could get to him if you tried, you know? So, I don't know, maybe like a villain or an anti-hero, something like that, you know? Yeah. I would love to be any fucking character if I'd be on TV, you know. So there's that. Thanks for the question. Next question is from Will Ferrell number 1. What did you think of Muhammad Hassan and Daivari? You know, they played their parts good. They got good heat. They were the right characters for the right time. It was just after 9/11, so, you know, everybody wanted to hate those characters. I mean, I'm not fans of the guys. I don't care for them or anything. But I understood it. You know, they were easy to get heat off of. So yeah. Next question: do you think the Facebook accounts of Dwayne Johnson, Phillip Brooks, Dolph Ziggler, and other superstars are real or fake? Pretty sure they're all fake. I mean, the ones that where you like it instead of adding as a friend, those are real, but, you know, they're handled by somebody else, not the actual person. But if you're adding them as friends, I'm 100% sure they're all fake. And the last question is WWE trying to make Michael Cole's TV character look stupid by having him get the wrestler's moves wrong. I mean, I don't know, isn't he saying them wrong himself? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't work backstage, so I mean, I would guess that I wouldn't think that Vince is telling him purposefully to say them wrong. You know, I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that question. Next is Mr. Marvel Fan 101. What do you think are some of the biggest flops in movie history? I I want, like, I'm not thinking this financial wise because, you know, those are just statistics. But in my opinion, some of the movies that have failed, like quality wise and disappointment, The Godfather 3, it's horrible. After two fucking classic movies. What else? Rob Zombie's Halloween. That shit was fucking retarded. What else? Other movies that have failed. Biggest flops. Jurassic Park: The Lost World. You know, you get a classic movie like Jurassic Park, and then you follow it up with that piece of fucking garbage. Battlefield Earth, of course, that's the big one that everybody always goes to. I never watched it, but I've watched parts of it. It's just fucking trash. It's horrible. Yeah, and it got like a horrible fucking profit. It like it didn't even make up for the budget. It was horrible, that movie. Other flops. Public Enemies. I hated that movie, and I had such anticipation for it. Fucking Johnny Depp, Christian Bale, that fucking hot French bitch, gangsters, 1930s, and it was just so fucking boring. Also, Great Gatsby. I haven't seen that, but I hear horrible things. You know, I didn't know it was gonna be some fucking hip, polished Jay-Z fucking soundtrack movie. So yeah, those are some of my big disappointments in movie history. I'm sure I could think of a lot more, yeah, but this is just on the spot. If you could bring, oh, and of course, Phantom Menace. I mean, come on, how could I not mention Episode 1? Next, if you could bring 3 current wrestlers to the Attitude Era, who would they be and who would they feud with? I have CM Punk feud with Stone Cold, of course. I'd have Dean Ambrose go there, feud with people like Mick Foley, you know, have some hardcore matches with people like that. I'd definitely have him be in ECW. And then Dan Bryan, have him feud with people like Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. Imagine the matches we'd get from Dan Bryan feuding with those guys, yeah. Next question is from Andrew T. If Hall and Nash stayed in the WWF, do you see them, Shawn and Paul, creating DX? Just them, not Rude in China. Yeah, definitely. If they stayed in WWF, I think they would have made, you know, it would have either been them forming the group or like DX and then Hall and Nash forming a group and having rival groups. But they would all be involved, no doubt about it. That's what made DX fun, is because you knew the backstage politics, that there was relationships between the people. But I would always want Chyna there. You need to have a girl in the group. Chyna was revolutionary. You know, I mean, she was a huge part of DX. You don't want to forget about Chyna. Did you enjoy Undertaker's work in late 98 and 99? Yeah, it was awesome. The fucking, you know, that the Gothic character was awesome before he turned into the Ministry, and the Ministry was fucking amazing. So yeah, that last Dead Man run before he turned into Viking Taker was awesome. 1101 Rocky. Do you think Damien Sandow deserves a push in the WWE? He really does. You know, I was a fan of Damien Sandow until they started treating him like garbage, and when somebody just loses everything and they're just booked in dumbass feuds and dumbass matches, you start to become apathetic towards them. But yeah, he does deserve a push. He looks like a old school 80s type of wrestler, you know. He has a unique look. He could wrestle. He's got great fucking gifts on the mic. You know, he deserves a push, but I mean, he's Mr. Money in the Bank. Hopefully that'll start something. But I mean, Dolph Ziggler was Mr. Money in the Bank, and you know, look how his fucking career is turning out. Do you think Rick the Model Martel deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. You know, a legit solidified mid-carder. You know, he could flirt with the upper mid-card, you know. Yeah, he deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm sure he'll be inducted eventually, so yeah. And I think this is the last question for this. Yes, it is, for this Q&A. Xavier Gambit. What do you think TNA needs to do to boost ratings? Just be an alternative. Like, seriously, an alternative. You know, I mean, it's just right now it's just WCW 2.0 or 3.0, you know? It's like just a bunch of old WWE guys. I mean, just be new, be different. Just because I always hear things where they're trying to like make fun of WWE or they copy WWE. Just don't relate yourself to WWE. Be you. Be something totally different, totally unique. You know, I don't watch TNA, so I can't exactly say, but if they just present themselves as a legit alternative, something that is truly different, like ECW was, you know. Next question: do you think Vince McMahon paid Vince Russo to take down WCW? I think WCW was failing before Vince Russo jumped on board. I mean, the writing was in the wall. Yeah, I think they started dwindling before that. So I don't think Vince paid Vince Russo. I mean, everybody has their conspiracies. And the last question: will you or have you tried to do anything in the wrestling business? I am just a fan. I never wanted to be a wrestler or anything like that. Legitimately. Yeah, I have no interest in pursuing the wrestling business. I obviously don't have the body of a wrestler. I don't care for it. The only way I'd be in the wrestling business if, let's say, I made it as a famous actor, a legit actor, and they wanted me to do something. I would love to do something like, you know, a little stint, like, you know, Mike Tyson or something like that. Only if I had control of my character, creative control. Because I wouldn't, you know, be some fucking celebrity, come into WWE, pander to the audience, make believe I like all the faces and put down all the heels like I'm some dumbass. If I could be me, I think that'd be fucking awesome. Like if I was a famous actor, but I could be me and have creative control of how I want my wrestling character to be, I think that'd be fucking awesome. You know? So yeah, there you go. There's the Q&A for today. I'll have the third Q&A tomorrow maybe for the week, and that'll be 3 Q&A videos in a week. Stuck to my word. Alright, as always, leave questions on this video or message me them. Okay, as always, Jay Shady, the voice of reason. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.